Breaking news, an OU English instructor removed from the classroom today. How it is connected to hundreds of students protesting in support of a graduate assistant placed on leave.
That we deserve a real education and we are fighting for a real education that
We have team coverage of the protests next. And U.S. citizenship could change for the children of undocumented immigrants. This is OU Nightly.
This was the scene on campus just hours ago. Hundreds of students and community members gathering on campus in support of a graduate assistant placed on leave this week. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Darby McCormick.
I'm Colson Pocock. We will cover today's protest in just a moment, but first, we begin our team coverage with breaking news. Our newsroom confirmed another instructor has been removed from an OU classroom.
OU Nightly's Michael Buchanan is live in the newsroom with more. Michael?
Colson, Darby, that's right. Instructor Kelly Alvarez has been removed from teaching an English composition class. According to documents and student interviews obtained by our newsroom, Alvarez invited students to attend a protest planned today in support of graduate assistant Mel Kurth. Alvarez told her students Wednesday that if they attended the protest, they would receive an excused absence. OU's Turning Point USA chapter president Caleb Magana is in the class taught by Alvarez. According to Magana and eyewitness accounts, he asked if counter-protesters would also be excused. According to witnesses, Alvarez told him only if counter-protest was organized. In a class announcement obtained by our newsroom, Dr. Roxanne Mountford, the director of first-year composition, wrote the attendance policy was based on who students were supporting during the protest, adding the policy was inappropriate. She then informed students that Alvarez would be removed and replaced with another instructor. Our newsroom reached out to the university for comment and more information on this situation, but we didn't hear back. Colson, Darby, back to you in the studio.
And thanks, Michael. Protesters are waiting for a response from the university after a graduate assistant was placed on leave following a student grade appeal investigation. OU Nightly's Bryn Mead continues our team coverage live from the Union, where the protest started. Bryn?
OU students, staff, and faculty members all met here at noon holding signs to protest the current situation regarding the GA being put on leave. Now, I spoke to several people about attending this protest for their cause on speaking out. And OU students say this semester has shifted the campus conversation.
In my opinion, I think it is just equity across the board.
Other students framed their concerns around the classroom itself. A sociology professor who attended says this is about academic expectations, not politics. Despite different reasons for showing up, many here share the same thing. And as hundreds marched from the South Oval to Evans Hall, protesters say they want OU admin to hear their call. For now, the group says they are waiting for a formal response from the university and plan to keep pushing until they get one. Protesters tell me today that this is only the beginning. They plan to keep pushing for what they need, and they're calling for a fair and transparent process. Reporting live from the Union Courtyard, Bryn Mead, OU Nightly.
Bryn, thank you. The Graduate Student Senate is calling on the university for stronger protection and increased accountability from OU.
The Senate voted yesterday to pass a resolution supporting and advocating for the graduate assistant on administrative leave. The Senate asking the university to give a written explanation of the policies and procedures being followed during the case investigation, give an explanation for why the GA was placed on administrative leave, also giving a public apology, to the GA and a plan for protection, publicity, condemning the bullying and harassment specifically for the behavior of the undergraduate student, her mother, and Turning Point USA, as well as give a swift and fair resolution to the investigation.
The Senate also said allowing a student to receive a passing grade for an assignment that does not meet the academic standard of the rubric further harms the campus community as it erodes the value of an OU degree.
Well, like we just saw from some of Bryn's video, it was really sunny outside, but also really chilly. I mean, I'm sure we both felt that this morning.
Yes, it was very chilly. Let's get right on over to OU Nightly meteorologist Parker Schrader with the weather. Parker, what do you have to tell us?
Yeah, guys, it was pretty frosty and pretty chilly this morning. If you had any early morning commute today, you probably had to start that car early. It was a little frosty on the windshield, and that was because of that freezing fog. And we do have another fog advisory here across much of I-35 north and south till 10 a.m. So if you have any early morning travel plans tomorrow, then you might want to keep that in mind. But I'll talk about that a little bit later, what the drought conditions are going to be looking like, your future precip chances, and the weekend cold front that'll be moving in. But guys, I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
Thanks, Parker. And coming up, the Supreme Court is meeting regarding an executive order signed by President Trump. What century-old law could be upheld or repealed? Next.
Plus, the CDC is revising its recommendation for vaccinating newborns. What vaccine is in the spotlight when we come back?
But she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Mariella!
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
The U.S. Supreme Court will consider a challenge over birthright citizenship. Lyndon Potter has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
The Supreme Court is taking on a constitutional challenge that could redefine birthright citizenship. President Trump signed an executive order in January that no longer granted U.S. citizenship to children of undocumented immigrants born in the U.S. Birthright citizenship has long been granted under the 14th Amendment. Now the Supreme Court is expected to meet in June to decide if the order is constitutional. The CDC's Vaccine Advisory Panel is changing a long-lasting recommendation to give hepatitis B shots to most newborns. The panel is made up of advisors handpicked by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now they recommend waiting 2 months to receive the vaccine if the mother tests negative for hepatitis B. A federal judge has ordered the release of Jeffrey Epstein-related materials from grand jury investigations. This ruling has come after the Epstein Files Transparency Act was passed by Congress last month. A previous bid to release these transcripts were denied earlier this year. The request was to unseal documents from the mid-2000s relating to allegations of Epstein abusing teenage girls. And Netflix has agreed to buy Warner Brothers Discovery for $72 billion. Netflix would get franchises like Harry Potter, DC Studios, and the sitcom Friends. Colson, Darby?
Thanks, Lyndon. And coming up, the Oklahoma City Public Defender's Office needs your assistance making this Christmas one to remember for kids in Oklahoma.
That's right. Find out how you can become Santa's little helper next.
And December has been coming in pretty strong, but how long will those cold temperatures last? And do we have any future precip on the way? I've got it all. Stay with us. Welcome back to OU Nightly. It has been a very chilly start to December, but today we've been seeing a little bit different temperatures for today, with some temperatures up into the low 50s right now. Looking pretty clear right now along Highway 9 and Jenkins with that sun starting to set. But again, it has been a little bit warmer, has been kind of nice, especially if you don't like those 30s. It was cold for sure. Now across the metro here, we've been kind of saying the same temperatures much here, upper 40s, low 50s here in OKC, and just been pretty mild, a little bit right around average for this time of year for your temperatures. Now, there again, if you missed it earlier, we do have that fog advisory, and with those temperatures later tonight, we could be seeing some freezing fog as those temperatures will be kind of around the low 30s. Right here, 31 in Norman, 33 out in Oklahoma City, and that fog advisory is right along I-35 north and south. So if you have any early morning commuting plans, keep that in mind. You might have to start the car a little bit earlier to get it defrosted. Now, the drought has been, we've had that wintry precip on your Thursday, but that wasn't really enough to bust the drought. We were up into the extreme category along southern portions of McLean and Cleveland County and out across southwestern portions of the state. So that has been kind of staying around and sticking with us, and that's going to kind of continue as temperature-wise, we're going to be sitting pretty much a little bit above average this time of year. Definitely going to be pretty chilly off to the northeast portions of the U.S. And the precip-wise, we're going to be looking pretty dry. So that's not going to help the drought. But let me go and show you why we're going to be kind of staying dry and warmer. So we do have some pretty good, the jet stream right now is just kind of staying pretty much just pretty average for this time of year, but we do have that cold front, like I mentioned earlier, that we're bringing in first cold front Saturday night into your Sunday morning, cooling us off a little bit into your Sunday and into your Monday. So keep that in mind. But as we head into your next few days, we'll warm back up into some of those 50s. But then later on to your Tuesday, we do have a second cold front that we bring in some cooler temperatures later on into your next week. But again, we're staying warmer, but we have some cold fronts on the way, bringing some gusty winds. So like I've said, though, Saturday we have that cold front right on Saturday afternoons. We gusty out of the south, so that's going to keep us a little bit warmer around the 20-mile-per-hour range. But as we head into your Saturday night, we can see that cold front sweeping in across the state, bringing some gusty winds out of the north this time, with some gusts out of the north about 20 miles per hour, and that's just going to continue and be pretty gusty, up almost into the mid-20-mile-per-hour range. So definitely gusty for your Saturday night and into your Sunday morning. So it'll be cold and it'll be cool as we head into your 7-day forecast. Again, we had that freezing fog, so keep that in mind for your Saturday morning. But then we have 44 as a high for your Sunday, so a little cooler. But as we head into your Tuesday and into your Wednesday, looking a little bit warmer. Like I said, 60 degrees, that's pretty warm. And then as we head into your Thursday and Friday, we have some temperatures up into the low and mid 50s. So looking a little bit warmer. We had those pretty cold temperatures and all that crazy winter weather on the earliest part of December, but looking like it's going to be a little less crazy as we head into later portions of December.
Well, that's good though, but what I heard from the wind gust is I need to bring out my favorite chip clip for the next few days. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be pretty gusty. A lot of gusts out of the south or north, so got to keep that in mind.
Okay, should be good. Okay, that's awesome. But hey, at least since it's cold this weekend, we don't have to be outside for an OU football game. So that's awesome.
Yes.
Or OU fans, I'm sure they're happy with that.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. Thank you, Parker.
It just seems like Oklahoma windy. I mean, it's literally an interstate song. So
it's going to be windy over the next few days.
But yes, the Oklahoma County Public Defender's Office is asking for Oklahomans to help to provide gifts for children in need. The parents of the children are in treatment court undergoing recovery for drugs and/or mental illness.
More than 450 children are in need of Christmas presents, and 58 children's wish lists are still needing to be filled. Those who wish to make a donation can access the Amazon wish list on the QR code shown on the screen. Don't go anywhere because Big Friday Sports is next.
Hear about where OU stands in the college football playoffs, along with plenty more sports stories right after this.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking. but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Hello, I'm Elle Gedman with Peyton Davis, and welcome to the final fall Big Friday Sports. It's time to address the question on every Oklahoman's mind.
Yeah, who will Sooner football be facing in the playoffs? OU Nightly's Kevin Daniel has more on where the team's head is at going into a potential playoff run.
Just 4 years ago, Brent Venables touched down in Norman as the head coach of the Sooners, and as of now, his team is lined up to host a college football playoff game against Alabama. Now, that journey didn't come easy, but the ball coach is committed to doing things the right way.
You're never going to bat 1,000, but it's important, to us. There's a lot of ways to quote unquote quick fix things, and but we're not looking for shortcuts. We're looking for stability. We're thinking long term, and our vision is to be best in class. In order to do that, man, you've got to work together.
Now, Venables has this team in the playoff hunt following a 10-win season for the 43rd time in school history. OU will officially find out their playoff matchup during the selection show Sunday at 11 a.m. Peyton, back to you.
Thanks, Kevin. It's also a big weekend for high school sports. OU Nightly's Hunter Cornejo is live from Chad Richardson Stadium in Edmond, where the Class C championship just finished up. Hunter?
Ryan High School entered Friday 0-6 all-time in state championships. Standing in their way was Medford at 10-2. Could the Cowboys bring their town their first state title? The Ryan Cowboys are going for their first ever state championship, but standing in their way is the Medford Cardinals. And the Cowboys are undefeated, but is it going to last? We're about to find out. Back to pass in the first quarter, it's Kingston Edwards for Medford. He's going to find a wide open Cash Kelly early 8-0 lead for the Cardinals. Cardinals having all the momentum and the fans are loving it. But guess what? Noah Torres says, not so fast, my friend. He's going to take it, and he's going to go 52 yards to the end zone, snatching any momentum that Medford may have had, and it just turns into the Noah Torres show from here on out, as he had over 300 yards on the ground. And then look at here, he can play some defense too. Second half, about to be halftime, and it's picked off. Noah Torres with the interception, and they keep them out of the end zone. Cowboys get the win, 60-30. Here's what the win means to this team.
Man, it's hard to describe. I've went from tears to happy to tears to just, it's just such an awesome feeling. I mean, just, can't describe it. These people have wanted this for so long. They've come so close. 6 times prior, that we've got runner-ups in our trophy case. And not just for Ryan, but for all of Jefferson County, Waurika, Ringland, everybody around. They show so much support.
Feels amazing, I really never thought we were going to, but I mean, we did it, so it's amazing.
And in just a few hours, we have the 6A2 state championship with the defending state champion Choctaw Yellow Jackets taking on Sand Springs Sandites. Choctaws won the last 7 versus Sand Springs, including 3 straight in the playoffs. That's all I have for you from Chad Richardson Stadium. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Hunter. Yeah, as long as we're talking high school football, the Sooners aren't the only Okies looking for a championship. In 6A2, we have a matchup between Choctaw and Sand Springs. Next, in 5A, we have the Bishop McGuinness Fighting Irish taking on the Titans from Carl Albert. And last but most certainly not least, for 6A1, Owasso and Bixby face off tomorrow at 7. And speaking of Bixby, our very own Landon Thomas has a story on a star staying home in the Sooner State.
Bixby High School isn't only the home of the Spartans, but they are also the #1 team in all of Oklahoma high school football. And a big reason for that is because of OU 2027 commit Caden Penny. Now, Penny has some time before he gets to put on the Crimson and Cream, but he is more than excited for where his journey is going to take him.
By the time I get to OU, I want to be the best version I can be. So when I get there in January, I'll be ready to go.
Five-star offensive lineman Caden Penny announced his commitment to the Sooners on September 25th, right after five-star offensive tackle Cooper Hackett out of Fort Gibson did as well on the same day. Penny says that the decision to wear the Crimson and Cream was an easy one.
You know, Coach Beanbo, a lot of research, and you know he's produced the most offensive linemen to the NFL in the last decade. So it was no-brainer, and then, you know, I took a couple visits there, and then it just felt like home, felt like real love down there.
Someone who noticed Penny's talent early in his high school career was Bixby High School football head coach Lauren Montgomery. Montgomery said that he made it a priority during the spring that everyone else in the country knew Penny's talent as well.
Pretty early on when Caden was a freshman going into his sophomore year, we could see he was going to be pretty special, and so invited Coach Beatonbow out to spring practice, and a lot of other coaches as well, and KP just goes out on Friday nights and executes each and every week, and so it's pretty easy for those guys to see that he's a great player.
Even after beating Norman 72-3 in their last regular season game of the year, Penny is still looking for ways to improve heading into the playoffs undefeated.
Just got to get better. We had 5 turnovers tonight, so that can happen in the playoffs, so just have to get better.
Reporting in Norman, Oklahoma, Landon Thomas, OU Nightly.
Switching over to the pros, according to ESPN, Kyler Murray does not look to return for the Arizona Cardinals this season. After Murray suffered a foot injury in Week 5, Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon says the injury has not progressed enough to warrant a comeback for the former starting QB.
Yeah, Peyton, that's tough news for Cards fans and Sooner fans as well, who also had to watch CeeDee Lamb's concussion last night. But let's look on the bright side. This Sunday, the New Orleans Saints travel to Tampa Bay to face Baker Mayfield's Bucks. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans leave the Lone Star State to face Creed Humphrey's Chiefs. And a newly contract extended Mark Andrews and the Ravens host the Steelers. And for some Monday Night Football, Jalen Hurts' Eagles will fly to the Golden State for an 8-4 matchup. It may be sunny outside, but it sure is thundering in the Paycom Center. When we come back, learn more about the team that just can't seem to be stopped.
And which OU team is coming off an overtime thriller win? All that and more next on Big Friday Sports.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. Glad you stuck around. We still have a lot of ball to talk.
Now, whether it's OU, OSU, or even the NFL, it's obvious that Oklahomans love their football. But what sport unites all Okies? NBA basketball, of course. After a 124-112 win against the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday, the Oklahoma City Thunder are set to continue their already historic season tonight versus the Dallas Mavericks. The team is 21-1, the first team to have that significant start since the 2015-16 Warriors, and are currently on a 13-game win streak.
Yeah, Peyton, you can totally say the Thunder are electric, but they aren't the only Oklahomans making a name for themselves in the big leagues. Austin Reeves is having a standout season with the Los Angeles Lakers, who tip off against the Boston Celtics tonight. Should be a good game. Meanwhile, rookie Jeremiah Fears and the New Orleans Pelicans will host the Houston Rockets. Coming off of a 1-point loss last night, Buddy Hield and Golden State hope to leave Cleveland with a win.
OU women's basketball has been seeing success, and Jenny Baranczyk's squad is gearing up to host Maryland Eastern Shore on Sunday. While Wednesday's game against NC State was a challenge, Baranczyk knows those previous tests are what will prepare them for the rest of the season.
That kind of stuff I think is really good for us, to have to go into overtime, to have to recover from missing a shot, to have to recover from missing a box out or fouling or whatever else. Those things are real life experiences, and those experiences are best teachers. So I think we will come back to this game a lot.
And for the men, the Sooner squad will travel to the Grand Canyon State to tip off against the ASU Sun Devils at 9:00 p.m. The Crimson and Cream hope to leave Tempe with a five-game win streak before a Bedlam ball game next week.
In other OU sports news, track and field is hosting the OU Winter Field Fest Invitational. Wrestling is at the Cliff Keen Invitational in Las Vegas, and women's gymnastics is hosting their Sooner Spotlight Showcase in Norman tomorrow at 1 p.m. Now, Elle, it's projected that OU football will be playing Alabama in the first round of the playoffs. Do you think that we could beat them for the third time in the past 2 years?
Honestly, I think this Bama team this year is going to be a hard team to beat twice, but I think if Brent Venables has his squad in order, we got it. And on that note, that's all the sports talk time we have today. Thank you all so much for watching Big Friday Sports and OU Nightly all semester long.
We hope you've had some fun, learned some stats, and maybe even laughed once or twice. I know that we sure have. Be sure to watch OU Nightly next semester, and have a great night. Good night.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it